today. Today we're starting with Diamond Heroes 1, jumping into one of the quarterfinal matches. So I'm not going to make you wait any longer than you absolutely have to. We're going to jump into the quarterfinals match between Traveler and Fari. We find ourselves on Automaton LE. On the far right-hand side of the map, in the red, playing Protoss, it is Fari. And on the left-hand side of the map, in the blue, playing Terran, it is DassemUltor, also known as Traveler. Now, I may get these nationalities wrong, so I need to double-check and see. But, yes, so Traveler is our Belgian player. There it is, yes. Traveler, DassemUltor, is our Belgian player. And Fari is going to be representing Hungary today. So we have an EU match that should just be absolutely phenomenal. These players battled through yesterday's double elimination group stages, both finishing in second in their groups. Pardon me, that's not true. Traveler finished first in his group yesterday, and Fari finished second in his group. So we had 2 extra seeds to award to players from the first ranked players in each group, because we had 6 players go through. So unfortunately, Traveler lost the coin toss for map score and was seeded into the quarterfinals and not the semifinals of today's matches. So Traveler with a bit of hard luck, with a 4-1 map score yesterday, but not finding any joy in getting into the semifinals directly. You can check the brackets using !bracket in the chat, and that'll show you exactly where we are. Or if you prefer Liquipedia, you can also type !Liquipedia in the chat for what I think is a slightly easier to read and more informative post. Meanwhile, in this game, DassemUltor going for 3 barracks right off the start, pardon me. And this is going to be unscouted by his opponent. There's no probe in his main base. So we see about the quickest rush possibility in the entire game for Terran players. 1 gas taken. Stim already started at 2.5 minutes. This is going to hit early, and this is going to hit hard. On the other side of the map, we see a fairly conservative opening here for our Protoss player. 1 gate. Expand on the low ground, going into robotics facility tech. Now, if this robo facility finishes and there are 1 or 2 immortals possibly to defend a push early in the game, I think that Fari will have a good shot at moving on with a +1 map score into game number 2. However, this 3 barracks play is getting absolutely dirty. Stim about 3/7 of the way done, it looks like. A second tech lab going down for combat shields for DassemUltor. He is not messing around, friends. This is incredible. A little mineral starved right now, it looks like, but trying to crank out as many Marines as he possibly can. He is starting a command center on the high ground, so this is not a complete all-in. He is not completely going full out, but still, wow, Stim and combat shields from the double tech lab there. And wow, finally starting his first factory at 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That is incredible. Oh, I've just seen in the chat, DassemUltor is going to up the ante. The winner of Diamond Heroes, in addition to a sizable prize pool and a unit skin, is now also going to be gifted a sub to my channel. DassemUltor, you are a madman. Thank you so much. I was going to mention that I am just shy of 15 subscribers to get something else, some other bonus on my channel. I think a custom emote or something? And that should do it. So the winner certainly has a lot. All right, so Fari has got his observer into the base of his opponent. He now sees what he is up against. I don't think, actually, that Fari can see this command center being built. He can see the command center being built, so he knows that it's not a complete all-in, but he also knows that he is in a whole heap and helping of trouble. We see the first Colossi already being pumped out of the robotics facility, the first of hopefully up to this number 4, which seems to be the magic number for Colossi production for Protoss players. As soon as Protoss players at this level can get up to about 4 Colossi, they seem to be absolutely unbeatable against these bio armies. But the production curve for DassemUltor is getting scary. We see the tech lab building onto that reactor, going to be swapped over for the starport. The Starport, of course, going to start cranking out medevacs 2 at a time. Meanwhile, on the Protoss side of the map, we do see Zealot Charge starting. It's about an 1/8 of the way done there. A nice scan going to go down, see that robotics facility, see the Robo Support Bay, or the Robo Bay, rather. Ooh, it's not Brood War anymore, fellas, is it? Seeing that Robo Bay and having a good guess that he's either up against Disruptor or Colossus. Now, there are 3 shield batteries in the front here, but I think Fari may have made a miscalculation here. With the double medevac coming out, I think it's very unlikely. Very nice pick by that missile turret guy with a kill. Look at him. Look at him. He's got a kill. He's got a little red indicator saying, yeah, I'm a badass. Gorgeously done. But I think Fari may be making a bit of a miscalculation there with 3 shield batteries at the front of his natural when he's most likely just going to get dropped, and his Twilight Council is probably going to say goodbye. But Fari's got to be feeling comfortable about his position, I will say, as he expands to a 3rd location on the map. So more and more Colossi pumping out for Fari, adding on another gateway, possibly one more, and a Templar Archives also. So getting a little bit of all text, a little bit of all tech here available for him. We see that extended thermal lance is about I don't know, what, 3/8 of the way done, just under halfway done. But this bio ball for DassemUltor is starting to come out across the map. The Observer going to get a full view and is in fact going to tail this army. DassemUltor doesn't seem to have noticed, or else he would have dropped a scan. But DassemUltor is going to know, or pardon me, Fari is going to know that DassemUltor is coming and exactly his angle of attack, and that is huge. Another scan at the front is going to show those 3 shield batteries and 2 Colossi, and he should know, DassemUltor should know, that it would be a fool's errand to knock on the front door of this natural with nothing but bio, with no upgrades, stim, and combat shields. We do see him immediately mixing in some more Marauders into the play, as well as adding on more medevacs and even some Widow Mines in here, which I think is a very cute choice. DassemUltor may be aware that his initial push may not have been, or his initial build may not have been the best idea. And look at that, we can see him readjusting, stepping back, but here we go with 10 seconds till thermal lance hits. Looks like DassemUltor may choose an almost anti-timing for this attack. However, a couple Widow Mines are going to come down. They may be able to clean up some of these gateway units. Unfortunately, they may also do a lot of friendly fire for these Terran. Initial splitting here from DassemUltor, doesn't want to get hit by any disruptor shots, even though there are no disruptors out. We see that Storm has now started for Fari, but the engagement has begun, and here we go. Colossi, including one on the high ground, are absolutely going to shred this bio army, and look at the Terran numbers going down, baby, and he's going down swinging. 2 Colossi do get picked up, but unfortunately, into the medevac's going to get picked off by a lot of these stalkers. 1 Widow Mine did get 2 kills there on the gateway units, but unfortunately, that attack completely blunted as DassemUltor now struggles to move into the mid-game. More Colossi production on the way. We can see Colossi still getting chronoed out as Fari strives to rebuild those 2 Colossi that were taken down by the initial Terran push. More Widow Mines stepping forward, but there's simply not enough gateway army for those Widow Mines to do a whole lot of damage. The bio number has dropped dramatically from DassemUltor, and you can see he has, man, just barely over half the mining workers that his opponent does. He's going to try and stim in here again, but with some nice kiting micro there from Fari, and it looks like DassemUltor is going to push back again. Man, very nicely done. That Widow Mine picked off by Fari, and Fari going to move forward, knowing he has the upper hand. Units continue to stream across the map here for DassemUltor as he finally starts, and his +1 finally comes close to finishing. There it is, a big drop into the main. An undefended Templar Archives, but Storm has already finished, so this will stop Templar production briefly if he does pick up the Templar Archives, which he is focusing down, but it might be a hollow victory. And oh no, loaded up into the medevac, and the medevac, oh my god, gonna get away with 14 health. 1 poor Marauder getting picked off by a lot of Colossi on the high ground. The Templar Archives, not gonna get rebuilt. In fact, Fari just choosing to do another couple gateways down to increase the size of this gateway force to support the Colossi. Now, he is significantly supply blocked here. Very, very significantly supply blocked. 1 pylon going down soon, but and another one should join it. But oh, nice. That probe is going to prevent, or pardon me, the Bioforce is going to prevent that probe from building a 4th base. But of course, the Protoss is up on 3 bases compared to the Terrans 2. We don't see a 3rd base yet for DassemUltor. It looks like he has given in to the power of the Bio, building 3 more barracks, adding on reactors, but I don't think he's going to be able to support this sort of production. Stepping into extended thermal lance fire again. More and more bio units being shaved down as the Protoss player continues to defend successfully now that his 3rd base is up and running. I wonder what, that's army supply. How do I see APM? What is that? M? There it is. APM for both of these players, in case the chat was a little bit curious. Pretty standard for a Diamond League game, I think. A little bit low. Another engage here, a stim forward, but man, DassemUltor is not having any luck getting anything done with this bio unit at the front. He thinks he has contained his opponent, but Fari is expanding up to the 4th base. +1 armor on the way now for DassemUltor, which is a good sign as the Protoss is not expanded at all, but with 7 gateways on the way, powering up on 4 bases. DassemUltor needs a miracle to get back into this game. Looks like a miracle might be incoming. 3 Marauders and 2 Marines dropping into the main. There's not a whole lot here to defend, but there are 9 gateways on the way. That is absolutely unbelievable. Looks like this drop has been spotted. A couple Stalkers getting warped, a lot of Stalkers getting warped in here, and the whole army getting recalled to the main. Will DassemUltor, indeed he will, go into the natural here and try and get some damage done. Looks like these 3 shield batteries are going to be the first targets. Liberators sieging up to try and maintain some sort of superior positioning. Widowmines moving forward, but this army has been beset by the Protoss army, and here we go. Colossi shoving back this Bio Force. Widowmine's doing a little bit of work on these Stalkers, but there are so many gateway units here from Fari. DassemUltor forced to pick up, and again, getting away. Oh no, these medevacs, a little bit of poor control. 2 medevacs going down, 1 that was full of units, and it looks like the Protoss army may be in complete control of this situation. The 4th base just finishing up here for Fari, and he is now 2 bases ahead of his opponent. 1 base ahead of his opponent, but DassemUltor is not yet saturated. This 3rd base, way behind in SCV production. Look at the income chart here. It's not even barely a tick into the blue for DassemUltor. Fari has been in complete control as he played a defensive game. This opening for DassemUltor has simply not paid off. We see an initial strike force here for Fari moving into the middle of the map, separating out a lot of his units here. I think he's probably going to check for a 4th base here. He hasn't scanned his opponent, or scanned his opponent. He hasn't scouted his opponent for quite some time, so actually Fari's not really sure what's in his opponent's base. I'm sure he can guess with all the bio that he's shaved down, but hasn't been able to ascertain exactly how much his opponent has expanded. I think once Fari pokes up and see that there's no 4th expansion here, sees that the 3rd expansion is barely saturated, save for mules, he's going to be very, very satisfied with his position in this game. And here we go. We can see the Protoss army beginning to march forward. It looks like the Terran is ready to accept it with a couple Liberators sieged up, but the Widowmine's not down yet. The Widowmines do get down. They are going to do a little bit of damage there onto the Stalkers, but the Stalkers getting underneath these Liberators, going to push them all off. Charge Zeal is pushing the bio back into the 3rd, but it looks like the bulk of the Protoss army is still alive up on the high ground. We do see a storm going down to force those DassemUltor back, and he's going to use that positioning advantage to push onto this 3rd base and drive the bio army way back. The bio army desperately trying to fight, but with only a couple Marauders and Marines, that 3rd base is forced to lift off, and the extended thermal lance for these 4 Colossi is absolutely tearing things up. We see the Templar a little bit late to the fight. Fari needs to refocus. Fari needs to refocus. Fari, don't let your enemy pull you away like this. Fari, gonna try and cut off reinforcements. The 3rd base has now been dislodged from its location. Another huge stream of reinforcements coming across the map, but Fari closing in on the natural expansion with high ground vision from those Colossi. He is roasting all of everything that's been produced in the top here. The gate is down, so Charge Zealots have been able to get into the production lines here. Now these bio units do find a nice cozy little cave to shoot from here that won't allow the Zealots any surface area, but I'm afraid that this game might just be over. The SCV boys have been pulled, and it looks like DassemUltor has the life being choked out of him, just like Palpatine and Vader in the conference room. Or Vader in the conference room, and Palpatine in the Galactic Senate. When did Palpatine force choke somebody? Did Palpatine ever force choke somebody? Surely he did, right? A big storm going down on a couple bio units, more gateway units, a lot of Zealots streaming across the map. DassemUltor with only 6 SCVs remaining. Looks like he's just contemplating his loss, and there it is. The GG goes down, and Fari takes game number 1. Alright guys, you know the drill. We're going to put 2 minutes back on the clock. I'm going to get the next game set up. Thank you so much for joining us for day 2 of the Diamond Heroes tournament. I do believe Killjoy SC, thank you for the follow. I was casting a big attack there by our Protoss player, so I didn't get a chance to shout it out, but thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're excited as I am about the Diamond Heroes 1 tournament. We are on day 2. Be sure to punch ! Liquipedia in the chat, and you can see how the brackets have shaken out, how they've shaken out, how things have happened so far in the tournament. How things have happened so far in the tournament. It looks if you're just joining us, we're on day 2 of the Diamond Heroes 2 tournament. Oh, sorry, 1 minute. Let me Anyhow, if you're just joining us, we're on day 2 of the Diamond Heroes 1 tournament. We had in this tournament, we had a double elimination a group stage yesterday. And today we move into the single elimination quarters, semis, and finals. So right now we are on the quarterfinal match between Fari and DassemUltor, who both fought their way through the group stages yesterday. And have survived through to today's quarterfinals. Now, the winner of today's match is guaranteed part of our prize pool from this tournament. So this game decides if you win money or if you go home with your tail tucked between your legs. So there's a lot on the line for these guys to see who's going to progress into the final matches, to see who's going to get a small portion of this pot. Oh no, chat is now telling me that Palpatine never force choked anyone. He did the finger lightning, but he never did a force choke. That was all Vader. Okay. I'm a little ashamed that I said Palpatine off the top of my head for a force choke. But at the same time, you know, not too far off. That's definitely what Fari was doing. He was definitely force choking. Yes, as Invalid Character says, Templar basically have force lightning. So Templar are the dark side, question mark? Alright guys, apologies for the delay. It looks like DassemUltor is asked for a couple minutes here. I'm not sure what he's doing. Let me check it and see what he's up to. I'll put 2 more minutes back on the clock. Hopefully we'll get this match going soon. Oh, he's in. Perfect. Okay. And we are going to get into game number 2 between DassemUltor and Fari. I'm going to stop this clock. We don't need a countdown anymore. Alright, so guys, today you will see the schedule up here, starting with Traveler versus Fari, DassemUltor versus Fari. After this will be a semifinals match with Ivariel, who was our highest seeded player from yesterday, not dropping a single map, against the winner of the other side of the bracket between the other 2 players. And if we're lucky, we can squeeze in a 3rd place match as well on stream. So no promises, but we will bring you as many games as is humanly possible. Alright, you hear that music. It is the StarCraft Brood War Terran theme. Oh, it's beautiful. Bringing us on to Port Alexander. In the bottom, right-hand corner in the blue, from Belgium, it is DassemUltor. Man, I hope I got that country right. Right, Belgium? Yes, Belgium. Okay, I do know my players. And in the top, left-hand corner from Clan Heroes, representing Hungary, it is Fari. Man, what a good first match. I am so jazzed. We see a barracks in a much more traditional location this time for DassemUltor. I guess his first barracks was their last game, but 1 gas already taken as well. Gateway down for our Protoss players. These players should be able to show us a whole lot of excitement. Game number 2. Man, like I said, loser of this match goes home, and the winner does move into the semifinals, and all semifinalists are awarded a cash prize. We've got a match-a-reno going, by the way, guys. I tell you what. So this is Diamond Heroes 1. This is the first time we've ever run this tournament. And we put up a match-a-reno thinking, whatever. Maybe we'll get $5 or $10 to give to the winner. It'll be cute. The initial prize pool, and I am not joking, the initial prize pool for the Diamond 1 Heroes tournament was 1 StarCraft 2 unit skin, $2.50 worth of BattleNet balance to buy a unit skin. And now, if you hit !match-a-reno, you will see that through the generosity of our viewers and our fans, we are able to provide an incredibly significant prize pool to our winners. I wanted to be a little bit rude, actually. I was watching the WCS results yesterday, and I saw a lot of famous names going home from WCS in Kiev with $0. So I want to remind you that one of these 2 players is going to go home with more money than a lot of the players that went to WCS Kiev. Something to think about, isn't it? Command Center on the high ground here for DassemUltor. He is getting a factory this game, so it looks like a little bit more standard. second barracks play, so he may still go for some mid-game aggression, but a lot more standard play this time with an earlier expansion and a factory going down, as well as a second gas being taken. Fari finishing his natural expansion quite quickly as well, and going straight up to Twilight Council tech, dropping a Robo as well, which means he's going to have several options in this game. We could see something like a Blink Stalker Harass with a Warp Prism. We could see a push out with Zealot Charge. At this stage of the game, we're just not certain. We will have to keep our eye and see exactly what they go for. 2-1-1 play here from DassemUltor as his starport starts. Second barracks is finished. We see the reactor on the first barracks. So my guess is, yeah, we're going to see a tech lab on that barracks and a reactor. Oh, a tech lab on the factory. Hang on just a minute. I thought we were going to see the 16 Marine drop here, but it looks like that may not be the case, as we have a tech lab going down in this factory instead of the reactor that I expected. Fari with a couple more gateways back home, just looking to power up. We see that Zealot Charge is going to be his upgrade of choice, and we'll see what comes out of this Robo facility. I would imagine it will be an observer. Oh no, he's going Warp Prism first, spelling danger, danger, Will Robinson, for our Terran player. Terran player dropping 2 more barracks now as DassemUltor powers up. Marauder Concussive Shell on the way, despite not scouting anything that he's up against. An interesting choice here. Battyleg in the chat is telling me, Bodyleg in the chat is telling me, it's a $112 pot for Platinum Heroes. That is incredible. The generosity of our viewers has been wonderful, and I am so glad you all are joining us for just a little bit of fun. Fantastic stuff. It's incredible. I tell you what, absolutely incredible. All right. Oh yeah, I haven't reminded you, I just will say, today's stream is on a 2-minute delay. So if my mic is muted, not that that would ever happen when I'm casting a game, but if my mic were muted or something, or I made a bad call, I'm going to read about it in the chat 2 minutes later. So that's a total of 4 minutes of shame for Creighton today, down from 6 minutes of shame from yesterday. Little Zealot Charge run by here, going to do really well as this Bioforce is not backed up by any Medivacs, and it looks like, ooh, an auto turret from the Raven going to go down. It is going to slow down that Zealot Charge, and a Concussive Shell Marauder going to do a little bit of damage as well, but 4 charged Zealots remain as they get into the mineral line here, chasing that Marauder back. The Marauder trying to escape, but 2 Zealots into the main as well, 3 Zealots into the main as well. Oh my god, the Zealots not focusing down very well. DassemUltor, wow, with the Warp Prism bringing in more Zealots, and it looks like DassemUltor could be calling a GG here quite soon. A Raven and Stim about to finish off. There's the pull of the SCVs. But wow, even more Zealots coming in here to decimate the mineral line, and DassemUltor is going to leave the game. Fari taking a quick 2-0 victory against his Terran opponent. Hokey smokes.